In this video, we're going to try to install the ABS wheel speed sensor on your Ford Focus, located behind your rear wheels. Now we're going to use our 19mm socket to loosen and remove the lug nuts. Going to remove the wheel and set it aside. Now at the wheel race and supporter, you can locate this wire right here. We're going to use our 8mm shallow socket with an extension and our 1/4" ratchet. And we want to loosen and remove this bolt. Now when removing this bolt, you want to be careful because it can drop down on the inside of the knuckle. Go ahead and remove that. Our next step is to move to the other side of the backing plate and tap the sensor through. Now here is the sensor right here. I'm going to use a 1/4" extension and I'm going to go ahead and gently tap this through. Now sometimes these are stuck in here. Ours popped out. So we're going to pull that sensor out. Now as we come along, we want to go ahead and remove the plastic retainers holding this in place. So I'm just going to simply use my trim tool. I'm going to get in here and pop that out. If you follow this up after you remove these plastic push pin style, there's a white connector right here. I'm going to use a pocket screwdriver and go right in the bottom side here. What we want to do is kind of release this. Just open up from the bottom. Pop that out. Now we are going to be replacing this here, so you can continue to remove the rest of it. You can use your trim tool. Pop that out. You're going to follow this up to a rubber grommet held into a metal bracket. So you want to go ahead and slide that out. Now here's that metal bracket. I'm going to go ahead and slide that out. Now sometimes that rubber is kind of stuck in there. It's just been stuck in there for, well, since the car was manufactured. Doesn't matter how that comes out, just get it out. Now right here is a connector that it connects to the forward part of the harness. There's a little push tab right here. Use my pocket screwdriver, you can push in, you can see it moving. So you're going to push it on that, and you want to grab the harness and pull this out. There it is right there. There's a little push tab right there. You're pushing it on to release. Now, as a little recommendation, because this is exposed to the elements, I simply like to take some spray solvent, spray out that connector on the other end, flush out any debris or anything that might be stuck in there. Let that air dry. I'm going to take my connector, try and finagle my hand up in there. Insert that into the other connector there. I'm going to push it in. You're going to feel it and hear it lock into place. Going to install that rubber grommet right here. Now give you a little tip. Spraying a little bit of spray solvent on that rubber normally helps these slide in a lot easier. You're not fighting the dry rubber biting onto that steel. There we have it. Run the harness up and over that parking brake cable. We have our gray connector right here. It goes into a slot right here on the inside of the control arm. Line that up and push that on. All right, let's run this over. Now what I'm gonna do, before I install these 2 plastic push pins, I'm gonna go ahead and install the sensor. Run that over. Gonna push that through. I want to go ahead and make sure that that's fully seated. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and feed that bolt up and in. Get that started. Definitely have to make sure that that sensor is lined up appropriately so that that bolt will get started. Once it is, it'll zip right on in there. And when tightening this down, it just really has to be snug. You don't have to over tighten it. You're just holding the sensor in place. All right, bolt is bottomed out there. Just give it a tiny bit more. At this point here, we can run our harness tabs over. You're gonna take your plastic push pins here and line that up. Push that in, and we'll do the same for the other one here. Go ahead and take your wheel, line it up on the wheel studs, and we'll get the lug nut started. It's always best to start all of the lug nuts by hand and then tighten them down. That way that we don't cross thread the lug nuts. Now when snugging these down, you want to do this in a crisscross pattern. Now let's get and torque down our lug nuts to 94 foot-pounds. We're going to do this in a crisscross pattern. And you're all set.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.